We're here with head coach Luke Strand. I'll ask him kind of ask about the recap of what's been going on so far the last couple of weeks, and now that you finally get to play some hockey, what you're looking forward to.
It's a great time of year. I think the anticipation of playing is high. You're trying to keep some focus because they want to play an opponent versus themselves. We've spent as much or more building culture as we have building hockey. So the guys have been doing a great job away from the rink and in the rink as far as taking care of one another, loving one another, and just learning that the standard's not going to dip because of a new player. And you're either going to keep up or it's going to be really hard on you. So I think the guys have done a nice job making sure we're pushing and pulling guys along.
It's no secret there's a lot of new guys on the team this year, but you also bring in a lot of NCAA experience. How has the team been gelling together in these last couple weeks?
It's good. It's there's just that time of year. You get a little pole position internally, trying to figure out where they fit and who fits where and who they want to play with. And as a staff, too, we're trying to figure out best combinations in situations. I think the other side is just to see each other pull for each other. You want to see the character shine and make sure that as much as they are pole positioning for a job on the team and in the roster where they're going to line up, that they're encouraging one another to do it the right way. And that's been in spades over and over and over.
I think people looking at this matchup at Omaha, you see the two goaltenders that were at the top of their conference last year. Does that give some intrigue to the series?
I mean, they're both, both on the top of their league a year ago. Turn back time to 2022. They're both head-to-head Clark Cup. Lax has been an unreal goalie. He's just grown over time. Trace has done the same. So both of them probably don't get credit because of quote-unquote their size and whatnot. So both talented guys, and I think equally can keep a team in the game when things are maybe not going their way at times and make the team feel really good about their game.
Open it up for some questions. If you guys have a question, raise your hand or just indicate.
Yeah, Luke, I mean, just what's the excitement to finally get the season going?
Yeah, I mean, last week was an extra. A year ago we played first weekend of the year. I think the last 2 years we have new guys coming in. Not that you know that at the time, but the timing wasn't bad to play an extra inter squad and find some time around each other. But the excitement's high, and we're at that point of. I think as a coach, every coach goes through. You want to be careful on what you do to one another. We went through a phase of like almost a pillow fight and a two-hand touch football game to I asked them to be violently friendly to each other. So we found the medium here, hopefully, that we need an opponent now.
Gotcha. I don't know. I know you got a lot of new faces in, but how you feel this forward group is starting to mesh on the ice?
I like the forward group. I think there's some balance as far as different attributes, maybe some better sticks in some regard to what they can do with pucks and puck play. You're going to maybe miss some bodies that Hilly was a hard guy to play against a year ago. Ole was a hard guy to play against a year ago. We got to get a couple guys to be firmer on that side of it. But as far as like mindset and possession and things we want to do offensively, it's a crew that's found some rhythm together here with different combinations.
Matt, you got one?
Yeah. Hey, Luke. Yeah, I guess just looking at Omaha today, and you mentioned it a little bit this morning on KTOE, they're bringing in a lot of not just major junior guys, but a lot of U Sports players. I guess I just kind of wanted to hear like what your thoughts are on that being an avenue for college hockey teams now. You guys have stuck more like the traditional route coming into the year where you're leaning on a lot of transfers to fill in some holes from some graduations from last year. It kind of feels like the U Sports guys might be like kind of a nice in between where it's not guys with college hockey experience, but it's not quite a 20-year-old kid coming straight out of major juniors. It's kind of an older, more experienced player kind of in between. I guess what's kind of your take on how those types of players might translate for Omaha this year?
I do. I think there's a good balance. U Sport hockey is a lot of those guys. If you look at their resume, have had long major junior history. Timing at the time when they entered major junior, the NCAA was not an option, and because they had played, even go to U Sport didn't allow them to go from U Sport to the NCAA. So they found that. I know Gabby's very tied out west in University of Alberta. I think when you look through their rosters, got some of their better players that moved out and moved into UNO. I think the mechanism that's in place to find players right now is whatever's going to make your group better at the time when you need it. Maybe a year ago they wouldn't have needed such an influx, and maybe this year with graduation, et cetera, they did. But it's a talented group that, like I said, the resumes are thick, even though they played that way. And I think back to once a day that we had a young man named Joel Ward who played a long, successful NHL career that came through U Sport with us with the Wild, and everyone didn't know what he could do, but his maturity was there to jump in the game and do it the right way. So there's plenty of good players up there as well.
Questions for Luke?
Yeah, I guess, I asked you a little bit about this last week, but as we approach closer to the season, who have been, some of the freshmen that have jumped out that I think you expect to get them all kind of integrated at some point during the season, but the ones who have maybe progressed quickly that we're going to see maybe more heavily featured early in the year in terms of the freshmen coming in?
Well, the exciting part is I think a lot of our freshmen came in as being former captains and leaders where they were at, and they had a lot of experience under their belt. You look up front, Reed Mork steps up right away as captain of Waterloo, has come in and made an impact. I just find some balance in what he brings to the table. We're going to bring some guys along. Jordan Ron had missed a year prior to with a knee surgery that took him a little bit of time going here, but a month in, he's taken off to where he was before. Mason LaBelle's a big body that's come in and done a nice job. And then on the back end, Bonkowski, like we call him Junior here, little Bonkowski is talented stick playing guy. And I think when you get the balance of, Hupka and Bryce and Bonk on the back end, there's an influence of young puck moving D that can get some jobs done. So we're looking for maybe by committee. I think all of them are going to get their reps and their opportunities to come in the door, and then you want to do well when you're ready. So you got to be on guard to take advantage of the opportunity.
Last year at this time, we were talking about the forward groups. You're looking for pairs of two, kind of more than just the three. Is the same approach coming into play this year, or what are you looking at in terms of lines?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common theme amongst coaches. There's always a three that jumps out at you that you feel really comfortable with. It doesn't matter on the balance, but the twos end up usually, I think, coming quicker than maybe a group of three does. And then there's a pair that might have early success that you don't want to say it the wrong way, but the apple gets a little brown, and you don't want to do it that way anymore. So we've mixed and matched a lot of combinations have gone through the doors and over the boards together. The fun part internally, we keep competition points, so we have a pretty good run on who's done what and how successful they've been together.
The one area we haven't talked about yet is the defensemen. You bring back a core of four that were arguably the best in college hockey last year at keeping the puck out of the net. So are you confident with the group of guys you have on the back end right now?
Completely. I think the spine of your team is from your goal line and your goaltending, and then your blue line with your defense and your centerman. And our goaltending has been talked about with Trace, but you get Wheels and Soupy together, and Murr and Ralphie Bergmanis have been dynamite with one another. And what we've had the opportunity now is split them all up and insulate young players to get them out, new experiences along the way next to a veteran. So that part's taken over. I'm sure when you see bullets fly, you'll see some familiar combinations back together, but there could be plenty of times where they're not together all the time until we get guys up and running. And you look anytime we probably get very hard on the idea that it's we-fence here, it's not defense, and we're all going to defend and we're all going to play hard without the puck. We don't really put it on one position per se. Any
other closing questions for Luke? All right. Well, appreciate everyone for joining us to call. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.